Hey there. Ever listen to doctors and feel like you need a secret decoder ring just to keep up? Well, today, we're not just giving you the ring, we're giving you the keys to the entire language. Let's jump right in.
I mean, seriously? Cholecystectomy? Pneumothorax? It's enough to make your head spin, right? But here's the secret. What if I told you these words aren't random at all? That's right, medical terminology isn't something you need to memorize like a giant dictionary. Nope, it's a code. It's built from simple, reusable puzzle pieces, and once you learn what the pieces mean, you can figure out almost any term. It's less about memorizing and a whole lot more about being a code breaker.
And every good code breaker needs a key, right? Well, here is our super simple three-step method. We're going to look for the prefix, that's the beginning. Then we'll find the root, that's the main subject, usually a body part. And finally, we'll get the suffix. That tells us what's actually happening. That's it. That's our key.
So, you ready to put our new code-breaking skills to the test? Let's start with the digestive system and watch how quickly these complicated words start to make sense. Let's start with a big one, gastroenteritis. Okay, gastro, you might recognize that from gastric, means stomach. Entero means intestine. And that final piece, itis, you've probably heard that one before. It just means inflammation. So put it all together, inflammation of the stomach and intestine. See, the code works. Okay, let's try another one, this time focusing on the prefix. The word is dyspepsia. That first part, dys, is a really useful one to know. It means difficult or painful, and epsia is just a fancier word for digestion. So dyspepsia is literally painful digestion, or, what we all call indigestion. Hang on to that prefix, dys. It'll pop up again. Now let's focus on the suffix, the ending of the word. Take cholecystectomy. Okay, cholecyst is the root for gallbladder, but the part you really want to notice is ectomy. That suffix always means the surgical removal of something. So a cholecystectomy is simply the surgical removal of the gallbladder. Anytime you see ectomy, you know something is being taken out. And here's another key suffix for our toolkit. In the word colostomy, we can guess col refers to the colon. But the important part is stomy. It might sound like ectomy, but it means something totally different. Stomy means to create a new opening. So a colostomy is a new surgical opening into the colon. That one little suffix completely changes the meaning, and it's the giveaway to the whole procedure. Okay, so our code works perfectly for the digestive system. But is it a one-trick pony? Is it universal? Well, let's find out. We're going to jump to a completely different body system, the lungs, and see if our keys still fit.
Now here's a word that sounds really serious, pneumothorax. But let's just break it down with our code. Pneumo/o is a root that means air or lung, and thorax is simply the medical term for the chest. So, pneumothorax literally just means air in the chest. Two simple root words, and a scary-sounding condition suddenly makes perfect sense.
All right, time to add a couple more powerful pieces to our codebook. Let's look at bradypnea. The prefix here is brady, and that just means slow. The root, pnea, refers to breathing. So you put them together, brady plus pnea equals abnormally slow breathing. Simple as that.
And you're going to love this one. Even something as common as a runny nose has a formal medical name that follows our rules. It's called rhinorrhea. Rhino, think of our rhinoceros, is the root for nose, and the suffix rhea means a flow or discharge. So rhinorrhea is a discharge from the nose. Yep, even a simple cold speaks the same code.
Okay, so we've cracked terms in two completely different systems in the body. But now for the really cool part, the aha moment. Let's connect the dots and see just how powerful these little code words truly are, because this is where it all clicks. Remember that prefix dys from the digestive system? It meant difficult. Well, look at this. On the left, we have dyspepsia, difficult digestion, and on the right, dyspnea. We just learned that pnea means breathing. So what's dyspnea? Difficult breathing. The exact same prefix applies universally. That's the power of the code. Let's do it again with a suffix. We learned ostomy means new opening from the word colostomy, an opening in the colon. Now look at tracheostomy. The root tracheo refers to the trachea, or the windpipe. So a tracheostomy is a new opening into the windpipe. Same suffix, totally different body part, identical meaning, it's that consistent. So here are some of the most powerful code words we've unlocked today. Think of it as your starter toolkit.
Itis is inflammation. Ectomy is removal. Dis means difficult or painful. Stomy is a new opening. And pnea is breathing. Just knowing these 5 little pieces gives you the ability to decode dozens of medical terms instantly.
So what does this all really mean? Well, it means you've just learned a new skill, and you can think of it as a kind of superpower for understanding the world of health and medicine. The next time you hear a term like bronchitis or appendectomy, you won't just hear a complex word. You'll actually see the pieces. Bronch for the bronchial tubes, itis for inflammation, or append for appendix, ectomy for removal. You now have the power to translate.
You know, the world is full of these kinds of complex languages, not just in medicine, but in technology, law, you name it. But this logic, this skill of breaking things down into their basic parts, you can apply that anywhere. So now that you know how to crack a code, the only question is, what code are you going to crack next?